Okay, this is the lecture for lecture quizzes. What word is used for harm that is caused by the treatment itself? Iatrogenic. Palmer 2000 wrote that whether a belief is heard as delusional may in part be about how it is presented, where and by whom. Delusions are associated with extremely low underlying self-esteem. How is the presence of thought disorder determined? It's assumed to be the presence of disordered language and communication. What elements of language and communication might be impaired in those with thought disorder? Loose associations, a loss of goal, repetition and perseveration, unusual, distorted or nonsense words. What characterises night smooth thinking, which is often seen in thought disorder? Tangential associations between ideas that lead to disruptions in the continuity of speech. Is psychosis transient or recurring? It can be either. What's the literal definition of psychosis? An abnormal condition of the mind. What conditions can psychosis be associated with? Mental illness, physical illness, substance misuse, and lack of sleep or dehydration. Psychosis involves a loss of what? Contact with reality. Psychosis involved one or more of which three things? Hallucinations, delusions, and thought disorder. Psychosis always involves what? Loss of insight. What are hallucinations? Perception in the absence of external stimuli. Perception in the absence of external stimuli are a what phenomenon? A normal everyday phenomenon. Senses that can be affected by hallucinations. All five. Types of hallucinations. Simple and complex. Type of hallucination that's particularly common in psychosis. Auditory. Why are many people who report hearing voices not deemed psychotic? Because they maintain insight. Example of a simple hallucination. A beep. Example of a complex hallucination. Seeing a person. Auditory hallucinations have been associated with activity of what, including language areas? Auditory cortical regions. Reference for auditory hallucinations are associated with activity of auditory cortical hallucinations. Schergel et al. 2000. Association of auditory hallucinations with activity of auditory cortical regions only means that The experience of some hallucinations is associated with this activity. Reference for hallucinations usually have a clear personal significance. Thomas et al. 2004. What is a delusion? A firmly held belief that is not ordinarily accepted by members of a person's culture or subculture. Most common three forms of delusion. Delusions of grandeur, delusions of reference, and paranoid delusion. Example of a delusion of reference. The delusion that a newsreader is speaking to you in code. What's the difference between the way people with psychosis speak about their beliefs and the way others do? Those without psychosis organise stories to show that they understand their thoughts are different.